What a great day. Just right for resting and relaxation and... Ah, crap. I have to do something to celebrate. It's my 1 year broniversary. 1 year today, I became a brony. It's been so long, yet it feels like it's been hardly any time at all. I'm going to review something. Maybe get a collab going. Hold on. How do you... I can't operate this thing with my head.
A few moments later.
Hello?
Hey KB, it's Critic.
Oh hey, you're that one guy, right?
Yeah, I think. Anyway, I've got a review going and I was wondering if you'd like to help me out with it.
Actually, I'm kind of busy right now with things, important horse famous things, so I can't. Sorry.
Oh, it's not a problem. Bye. Well, that's thoroughly disappointing. Do you have any free time? I've got a review in the works, and it's a special occasion.
Sorry, dude, I am swamped. I can't help you.
Well, that's fine. Bye. There's got to be someone.
I'm a fucking Alicorn princess.
How the fuck does that make any sense?
Yeah, I know, but hey, it's an Elsewhere story. Just close your eyes, think of England, and consider it non-canon.
For the last time, I'm not English. There's one last resort I have. He doesn't strictly review movies and TV shows like I do, but I'm sure he'll help me out. Hey buddy, I'm in a bit of a jam here. I'm celebrating my 1 year broniversary, and I can't get any pony on board to collaborate with me on it. Feel like helping me out?
Oh sure, what are we reviewing?
Something monumental to the brony fandom. Something life-changing to every pony. Something that can make grown men weep.
Well, what is it?
Equestria girls.
Okay.
How can you be so calm about this? I mean, it wasn't breaking to the fandom, but it certainly didn't do any favours.
Probably, but it's not the worst thing to happen to this fandom. I'll gladly review this mixed bag with you.
Okay, so how are you gonna get here?
Oh, don't worry. I'll be across the ocean lickety-split.
Wait, how? Well, that's conveniently quick.
I told you so, didn't I? So, should we get this show on the road?
Yes. Capital idea. So to begin with, the writers give us false hope that it'll actually be a movie about ponies by starting out in the world we love so much, with the characters we love so much. But all this is not meant to last.
Although, it is nice to see some continuity from Season 3. Twilight has her wings, and it's her very first princess summoned. Just why was she summoned? We're never told. It's simply the element that begins this movie's plot.
Oh Hasbro, you pesky bastards, you. You think that just as long as we have a nice Transformers reference to appeal to those bronies, you'll be all set. Well, you're not filling this review, pony, you corporation, you. Oh yeah, don't even get me started on Littlest Pet Shop. So, Princess Twilight's special sauce enters the Crystal Palace, and we get to play a game of Spot the Main Character.
He's pretty much right, folks. This scene is completely lost on what the main focus is. Is it Twilight? The princesses? Who? But we don't have to play for long, as Celestia sends the main six off to rest just under 30 seconds later.
Well, we get to see the aftermath of the wobbly Season 3 finale, and as a follow-up it does surprisingly well, addressing the concerns a lot of fans were having about Princess Twilight and Sparkler's new role in Equestria.
Well, as surprisingly well as a follow-up with wing boners can be.
You had to bring that up, didn't you?
Hey, you do your thing, I'll do mine. After that, we get a freaking awesome remix of the original opening theme.
Yeah, it's reminiscent of Alex S's remix. It's definitely not a direction I thought the show would go in regards to music.
Still a pretty rocking remix. I wouldn't call it fitting, but I still find it good.
And after the special surprise of a new remix of the theme song, the soundtrack gets tense as we go all Dark Knight stealth mode.
Reminds me of an earlier episode where Twilight tried to cosplay as Solid Snake. The mysterious hooded pony makes her way through the hallway and, ever so stealthily, tries to nab the element of magic from Twilight while she sleeps. What?
Oh, nothing. Continue.
Okay. This hooded figure trips over Spike's tail, causing Twilight to awaken. Upon waking up, she notices the thief and gives chase.
Alright, let's just stop for a moment. Equestria's royal guard is really so incompetent that they can't stop one unicorn from infiltrating a giant castle. I knew the guards were dumb, but this just takes the cake. I mean, there's 4 princesses in the building. Surely that would be cause for some kind of increased security, lest there be an unfortunate incident.
Okay, so after Twilight gives chase for about a minute, the thieving pony reveals itself to be a young orange unicorn, who seems to be just as strong as Twilight, minus the wings. However, Twilight couldn't catch this unicorn, and she ends up escaping through a magical mirror.
And what bothers me is that instead of immediately giving chase, our majestic Princess Of thinks it's a good idea to wait until morning, giving our evil villain time to mess the other world up.
Oh yeah, speaking of other worlds, that's exactly what the portal leads to, as explained by the princesses. They explained that the unicorn's name is Sunset Shimmer, a former student of Celestia. Basically, upon not getting what she wanted, she decided to abandon her studies and pursue a path of evil.
Yeah, it was actually explained in the Equestria Girls annual comic. It's not as if Celestia was unkind in her teachings. Sunset just got a bit too big for her britches, and thought she deserved some kind of power.
With that, the princess tells of the troubles that could occur if the element of magic stayed in the other world, and tells Twilight that she needs to go to the other world and get it back. However, she only has 3 days to do this. If she doesn't get the element back within that time, she'll be stuck in the other world for another 30 moons.
Oh, you'd know all about moons, wouldn't you, Luna? With a completely non-existent explanation of what a moon is in relation to time, the viewer is really just left to decipher what she means by that measurement.
I think it's a month, to be honest. That or 30 full cycles of the moon.
So as Princess Twilight is heading through the unknown portal, her fantastic friends stop her and volunteer their services.
But, thanks to a completely arbitrary explanation by Celestia, Twilight is forced to do it alone.
So, one epileptic fit later, and everything starts going wrong.
The first thing you'll realize is that Spike's transformation is sure to cause major fan controversy. The second thing you'll realize is Twilight's human form.
You'd think Twilight wouldn't be so surprised at the concept of fingers, seeing as how her number one assistant has plenty of them to hold a quill with.
Well, technically they're claws.
Well, look, they both have opposable thumbs.
But one thing about this model really irks me to no end.
Would it be the huge eyes on the human puppet?
No, I can deal with that. It's her skin color that rubs me the wrong way.
What does the rest of me look like? Like you.
Exactly! If you're gonna go human, go full-blown human.
Now, a little bit of animation genius in this little portion of the scene where Twilight sticks her hand into the portal mirror and she sees her hand turn into a hoof. That's something I love about the animation of the show, the sheer attention to detail. Hasbro already had some experience with human animations through other programs. By the time they got around to working on Equestria Girls, the studio behind The Magic of Friendship clearly had sufficient experience with their puppets before going into full production.
So, after Twilight has a small episode for about a few seconds, we see how she tries to adjust to her new surroundings, as well as her new body. Yeah, this entire shaky, wobbly bit looks like one animator's attempt to put the puppet through its paces and inexplicably put it through the final product. And this makes her time adjusting rather miserable. She has to learn to walk on 2 legs, eat with her hands, and even push doors without her head. It takes her hitting her head on the school front doors to realize this. Oh yeah, speaking of schools...
Oh crap.
Yes, folks. Upon entering this world, Twilight lands in front of a high school, which is the setting of this little film's plot. This place is so new to Twilight that she thinks that the School of Wars are stolen artifacts from Equestria. But we don't have time to ponder this thought for long, as the hallways begin to fill up with students. The students here make me wonder what kind of school this is. The Cream are Crusaders, as well as Diamond Tiara and Silver Spoon keep appearing all over the place. Is this a high school or one of those K-12 schools? Speaking of songs, you might realize they're a rather strong point in this film, as we're going to see later.
Well, partway through the song, we see Cheerilee, who appears to be a teacher, clearly older than Twilight, but in the pony world, they are around the same age, as has been seen in flashback, specifically Rarity's, where Cheerilee is in her class, and Rarity and Twilight are around the same age. It's a small detail, but it's something that really stands out if you pay attention to the little thing.
Anyways, after the song, Twilight hears a small, weak voice down the hall. After a few seconds, we see that this voice is none other than a human Fluttershy. Remember that Sunset Shimmer unicorn at the beginning? We see that she gets her sick kicks out of bullying students like Fluttershy.
It's her.
Anywho, we see Sunset Shimmer picking on Fluttershy for picking up the element of magic on the ground, which she refers to as hers.
You can be a mean bitch all you want, but if you talk like that to Fluttershy, my Fluttershy, well, don't, or else you'll become a discarded character. Oh wait, you probably are by now.
He's got a point, ladies and gentlemen. Sunset Shimmer is probably the weakest villain in anything MLP related. I consider her to be as weak as King Sombra in that regard, possibly even more so. She could have been a good villain too. You could have dived into what made her so evil in the first place. But when it comes to looking at what Hasbro gave us at the end, Shimmer is dreadfully one-dimensional and can be very annoying at times.
So, after Twilight gets Shimmer off of Fluttershy's back, we get pretty much a complete reenactment of the first time Twilight and Fluttershy met. I would call them out on the reuse of basically the same scene, but I'm on such a nostalgia trip that I just don't give a crap. But get used to this stuff, folks. This movie is jam-packed with fandom winks and fan pandering. That can sometimes be a bad thing, like in the last roundup when Derpy appeared and actually spoke. I'm not saying it wasn't one of the greatest moments of my show experience. I'm just saying that it kind of rubs some people the wrong way when a wank becomes straight out of fan pandering.
So, after the fans have a healthy helping of nostalgic flashbacks, Twilight goes to Principal Celestia's office to get the crown back. And personally, I think the movie can end in so many ways in this one scene. Spike even asks why she didn't just explain that the crown was hers and that she needs it back, with Twilight giving Spike an answer that can be best summed up as, oh, because the movie would only be 15 minutes long. Twilight makes her a goal to become the school's equivalent of prom queen on fall formal night. It's weird too. Friendship is Magic isn't known to be girly, or at least not over the top girliness. But we don't have time to think about that for now, Critic. We have to watch Twilight act like a moron.
Yeah, right. It's like entering the Olympics with no sporting experience. She doesn't know anything about this alternate world, and she knows it. But because the plot demands it, Twilight must be a girly girl, and the fall formal becomes an extremely contrived and ultimately pointless plot device. Friendship is Magic, or more specifically Lauren Faust, worked hard to make sure that Femme wasn't your typically girly Tea Party Princess Festival. But Megan McCarthy seems to have thoroughly fucked that concept right out the window. So, Twilight consults her only friend in this world about being Princess of the Fall Formal, and she gets inadvertently soaked with fruit juice. I can't help but laugh at the Granny Smith in this world. It just makes me laugh.
Anyways, after Twilight and Fluttershy converse about how much of a bitch Sunset Shimmer is, Twilight goes to the auditorium, where she meets the human Pinkie Pie, who pretty much makes it clear that her and Fluttershy aren't friends in this alternate world. She also pretty much inquires that there are 2 Twilights in this alternate world, as well as 2 Spikes. It's not plot important by any means, but it's a pretty cool thing to think about, I guess.
She also says not usually when asked if humans are psychic. So does that mean that Pinkie's psychic sometimes? Is she just messing with us like she usually does? Or are all Pinkie Pies from all universes interconnected?
Again, it's something to think about.
So Pinkie pulls a pen and a clipboard out of her infinite TARDIS main, and Twilight tries to sign it. To no avail, which I really don't understand.
So, after that, we get probably the only 2 characters in this entire film with normal skin colors. Applejack and Big Mac. Well, to be honest, Big Mac looks like he's been out in the sun for too long. So, Pinkie Pie tells Applejack that Twilight's running for a prom queen. Yeah, it's called something else, but it's really just this universe's prom queen. It does a little dramatization of what it's like to run against Sunset Shimmer. She then says that the only person you can't trust more than her is Rainbow Dash?
Twilight insists that becoming princess is the only course of action she can take, even though we know that's not true. But Twilight is a pretty morally grounded pony, so she would never do anything like stealing, as she knows full well that would be wrong. But in this case, she wouldn't be stealing. The crown belongs to her, so by all means she should be able to claim it. Anyway, we're getting off topic. Enter Sunset Megabit Shimmer.
Oh. This looks terrible! There should be more streamers near the stage and fewer balloons. Fewer balloons.
I'm just gonna call her Sunshit Simmer at this point. This scene drives a few points of this film home. First thing it drives home is that Sips and Snails are apparently meant to be cronies of the evil baddie of the plot. Another thing that proves is that it sets in stone that Simmer is going to be the weakest villain in the franchise.
Sunshit has never proven herself to be anything but weak and pointless, with no motive other than a very vague description of her being an old student of Celestia's. We should move on before this just devolves into us insulting the character.
Yeah, let's just move on.
Hold on, I'm feeling something. Crap, I'm reaching the limit. Click on this annotation here to get to the next part of the review when it's up. But we've got to split the review right here.
And click the annotations below so we can finish this mixed bag.
You gonna do something? No? Okay, I'm just gonna sit back here until you decide to click on something.
Does this usually happen to you?
No, these videos just end kind of suddenly, so this is new.
Aren't they gonna click something?
Probably, but they're just waiting to listen to whatever we're saying right now.
Oh well, I bet halfway through my sentence you're just gonna cut.